Let's do some myth busting. Let's compare surrender versus quitting. Here's the common misconception. Surrender is often mistaken for quitting, but surrender isn't quitting. It's a conscious release. When you surrender, you're not abandoning your goals. You're allowing space for new ideas, solutions, and paths to emerge. It's about flexibility and trust rather than rigidity, holding on to control. Quitting is when you stop trying. Surrender is all about letting go of the need to control and how things happen.
Welcome to the With Your Juicy Self podcast, where we help you enhance your self-care and self-love routines by providing insightful conversations, expert advice, and practical tips for a healthier, happier life. Let's get juicy, shall we?
Make your self-care routine just right. Intentional actions for your well-being will define self-care. Give your life new meaning. Avoid self-sabotage. Let go of the stress with our advice. You'll feel your best. This is the rhythm of your life. With Juicy by Cheri by your side.
Welcome to What the Juicy Self podcast, where we dive into all things self-care. Now let's get juicy, shall we? Today's episode is the power of surrender and how to let go when you're wired to keep going and going and going. We're going to talk about the power of surrender and how go-getters like you can learn to let go in a way that doesn't feel like quitting. In today's hustle culture, we often feel like we have to keep pushing, controlling, and driving things forward. But sometimes surrendering is the key to opening doors we never thought possible. Today, we explore what surrender truly means, why it's so hard for driven people, and the benefits of letting go, and how practically integrating surrender into your life without losing your edge. Surrender is the simple but profound wisdom of yielding to, rather than opposing the flow of life. Eckhart Tolle. So today, we're talking about something that's super close to my heart, but also something I struggle with: surrender. As a driven person, a go-getter, and someone who works hard and hustles, the idea of surrendering can feel foreign or even impossible. It's like, what do you mean, let go? I built my success by pushing through. Keep going and keep going. Don't stop, grit, all those things. But here's the thing. There's an immense power in surrender, and it doesn't mean that you're quitting. In fact, sometimes letting go is the ultimate act of faith and self-trust. Today, I'll be sharing with you why surrender is so important, how it doesn't mean failure, and how you can do it in a way where it aligns with your unstoppable spirit. Personally, I've built Juicy by Cheri by pushing through obstacles, taking control, and never giving up. But I also learned, sometimes the hard way, that not everything is meant to be controlled. And I've also learned to let go. Beautiful, unexpected things have happened. I've shared more of my story about this later as we talk more about surrender. Now let's define surrender. It's not about waving a white flag and giving up. Instead, surrender is about letting go and letting go of control and accepting what we cannot change. It's trusting that life's flow, the universe, God, whatever higher power you believe in, has a bigger plan. Surrender means releasing your tight grip on the outcome and allowing things to unfold naturally.
Hey nail biters, Juicy by Cheri cuticle oil heals with black seed oil, nourished with grapeseed and vitamin E, and comes in 6 juicy scents like strawberry lemonade and lemon eucalyptus. Get your nails back on track. Now back to the podcast.
Let's do some myth busting. Let's compare surrender versus quitting. Here's the common misconception. Surrender is often mistaken for quitting, but surrender isn't quitting. It's a conscious release. When you surrender, you're not abandoning your goals. You're allowing space for new ideas, solutions, and paths to emerge. It's about flexibility and trust rather than rigidity holding on to control. Quitting is when you stop trying. Surrender is all about letting go of the need to control and how things happen. So what are some examples of surrendering in everyday life? What does it look like? It could be something small, like not forcing yourself to respond to that email at midnight because you trust that if you wait until the morning, the world won't fall apart. Okay? Or something bigger. You may be surrendering to the idea that a relationship needs space. Instead of constantly trying to fix it. Surrender can show up in both big and small things and big and small decisions. And the more we practice, the more we realize we won't lose anything by letting go. So why is surrender hard for go-getters? Let me define go-getter personalities and tell me if this is you. Go-getters, I see you because I am you. We're ambitious, we preserve, we're driven by goals, and often our sense of worth is tied to what we achieve. We thrive on getting things done, right? Pushing forward and never settling for less. And because of that, surrender feels like a foreign language to us. What? Surrender? Our brains tell us if we are in control, things will fall apart. So why does these traits make surrender difficult? The traits that make us so successful can also make surrender feel impossible. When you've built a life around achieving, the idea of letting go feels like a threat to your identity. Like, I don't do that. Who quits, right? We fear losing progress, momentum, or even respect. I know I felt this when I try to loosen my grip on certain business decisions or even personal goals. It's like, if I'm not in control, what happens? Or if I don't get it done, who's going to do it? So now let me share my personal story of burnout. A few years ago, I was working around the clock, trying to control every aspect of my life, in my personal life, in my business, and my health, you name it. And guess what? I hit a wall. Complete burnout. It wasn't until I surrendered, realizing I can't control everything. That's when things started to flow again. The business didn't fall apart. In fact, opportunities from all directions I never expected because I was finally open to them.
Give your skin the juicy love it deserves with Juicy by Cheri body oil, healing black seed oil, nourishing olive oil, and 7 delicious scents like orange honey and serenity spa. Perfect for morning and night. Coming soon from cart to home. Now back to the podcast.
Let's talk about the benefits of surrender. The first one being unexpected breakthroughs and creativity. Surrender allows space for breakthroughs that you may not have even imagined. When you stop controlling every detail, the universe, or just life, can deliver solutions, ideas, and opportunities you wouldn't have seen otherwise. Sometimes, when we hold on too tightly, we limit what's possible. Creativity thrives in open spaces, and surrender creates those spaces. Benefit number 2, increase peace and freedom. When you let go of the need to control everything, peace starts to flow in. Imagine the relief of not feeling you have to manage every single outcome. Surrender provides a sense of freedom. That's what we're all trying to achieve, freedom. It's like finally taking a deep breath after holding it in for too long. You realize that life is happening for you, not to you. And there's an ease in that realization. So how did surrender lead to my success in my journey? When I surrendered to the flow of my business, when I let go of controlling every marketing campaign, every decision, things began to blossom in ways I couldn't have anticipated. New partnerships came in. I found fresh creative ideas, and things started to move with less effort. That's the power of surrender. It opens up a wider horizon.
Juicy by Cheri Pure Black Seed Oil has the healing power Great for digestion, boosting immunity, soothing inflammation, you name it. Replenish your body's nutrients and feel your energy return. Now back to the podcast.
So how do you surrender? Let's first start with a mindset shift. Focus on what you can control. And this is where the real work starts. Start by shifting that mindset. Focus on what can you control. Your attitude, your actions, your intentions, and release what you cannot control, like other people's opinions or even an outcome of a situation. This might be the hardest part. However, once you identify those things that you can't truly control, it becomes easier to let go of the rest. Another thing, so reframe surrender as a strength. Surrender is a strength, not a weakness. It takes courage to let go of control, to trust the unknown. You aren't giving up. You're making space for something bigger and better to enter. So here are some daily practices that you can use in order to surrender and let go. The first one being a mindful pause. Take a moment during the day to pause, breathe, and ask yourself, is this something I can control? If the answer is no, release it. This simple pause can save you from a lot of unnecessary stress. Second, I would like you to do is some journaling. Write down what's been bothering you, what's out of your control, and symbolically release it by writing next to it, I surrender this. This practice can help you mentally and emotionally let go. So now we have affirmations. Affirmations are powerful tools for rewiring your mindset. Try using phrases like, I trust the process of life, or I release control and allow flow. These can serve as gentle reminders throughout your day to surrender. Next, we can do some physical things. Like we want to incorporate things like yoga, meditation, or even mindful walking into your routine. These activities can help you physically and mentally let go of tension and stress. And here's another one I got for you. Practice small wins. Start small. Practice surrender in low stakes situations. For example, allow someone else to make a decision. You know, those people who can't let go. Or go with the flow for a whole day without trying to plan every single detail. Can you do that? Let me know. All right.
Juicy by Cheri lip oil with healing black seed oil. Moisturize, shines, and heals with natural grapeseed and vitamin E. Try all 6 flavors like berry lemonade and orange citrus. Look like an Arabian goddess. Now back to the podcast.
Surrender is all about trust, not quitting. It's about letting go of control to allow space for new possibilities and insight. It's a powerful, liberating process that brings unexpected benefits. I want to encourage you to start with small ways of letting go this week. You might be surprised of how much you feel lighter and how much more things flow in your life without pushing, and start trusting. So let's end with this affirmation. In letting go, I find my true power. I'm going to say that one more time. In letting go, I find my true power. I'd love to hear more of your stories about how you surrender or how you do some of your daily practices of how to surrender, and share your experiences with me in the comments. Also, I'd like to invite you to join our community and check out our Juicy by Cheri products, and which is also part in helping you in your surrender and your self-care when you're massaging and doing your yoga. Remember, stay juicy, surrender, and take care of your juicy self.
Your self-care routine just right. Intentional actions for your well-being will define self-care. Give your life new meaning. Avoid self-sabotage. Let go of the stress with all advice. You'll feel your best. This is the rhythm of your life. With Juicy by Cheri by your side.